bias in AI, healthcare AI specifically, it's not just a technological problem. It's initially mentioned most of these AI applications, they are developed in US and Europe. They are the first world countries. They have the infrastructure available to create those kind of tools. But when we go ahead and use those specific tools in African, the Asian, the Southeast Asian countries, the Pacific Islands, where they don't have access to the technology, but we still have the hospitals, the networks going there and applying those AI based tools. Pardon me. But because the data was basically trained on the population where that tool was developed in US and the Europe, it doesn't really work well there. The algorithm bias happens, very simply put, it happens when the training data does not represent the diversity of the real world. So when I was doing the research, I found like examples where diagnostic tools, they failed women because they were trained on male centric data. The heart attack symptoms, if we are aware, in women are very different from men. And and typically vital signs are missed during the analysis when we are using AI based data, made typically on a specific demography, specific location, and specific data set which is fed into them. So bias in AI, healthcare AI specifically, it's not just a technological problem. It's about human problem. It can lead to unequal treatment, misdiagnosis, even life-threatening outcomes like underrepresenting groups. So the research emphasizes on need for rebalancing the data set. It creates to create a fairness aware machine learning technique. It should talk about pardon me, continuously auditing, which I also touched upon earlier, auditing to identify and address like these data biases do not, or the algorithmic biases rather, let me be more specific, do not come into the picture, and they address those specific issues. But we talked about the challenge, but the good news here is this can be resolved. And it can be resolved not only at the tool development or the AI application development level, because it's kind of a continuous learning kind of an application. It's like we have the options where the physicians or the providers, they can ask to rebalance the data sets to include diverse stakeholder inputs. And as I talked about, keep talking about the regular algorithm in audits that is specifically needed, like annual or probably even biannual audits are needed to assess whether what the outcome of the AI based on diagnosis, based on predictive analytics, it has worked well, or if it has not worked well. That's where we can utilize and rework on the algorithm and work and address the biases where we are failing, it's failing.